friends, my name is Kyra May and I'm a volunteer at the Zulu B. Wiley Public Library. You may have seen me read a few stories before. I remember doing May the 4th a few months ago. So today I've been asked by our friends at the library to read one of my favorite stories. So I decided I wanted to read Amazing Grace by Mary Hoffman and Carolyn Bench. So let's get into it. Grace was a girl who loved stories. She didn't mind if they were read to her or told to her or made up in her own head. She didn't care if they were books or movies or out of Nana's long memory. Grace just loved stories. After she heard them, and sometimes while they were still going on, Grace would act them out. And she always gave herself the most exciting parts. You see Grace reading to her Nana reading to Grace, and she's acting out those stories right there. Grace went into battle as Joan of Arc, or wove a wicked web as Anansi the spider. She hid inside the wooden horse at the gates of Troy. She went exploring for lost kingdoms. She sailed the 7 seas with a peg leg and a parrot. See her sailing the seas? She's got a friend with her too. She was Hiawatha, sitting by the shining big sea water, and Mowgli in the backyard jungle. Most of all, Grace loved to act out adventure stories and fairy tales. When there was no one else around, Grace played all the parts herself. She set out to seek her fortune with no companion but her trusty cat, and found a city with streets paved in gold. Or she was Aladdin rubbing his magic lamp to make the genie appear. See? She's got her friend right there, the cat, and there she is. She's dressed like Aladdin, rubbing that lamp. Sometimes she would get Ma and Nana to join in when they weren't too busy. Then she was Dr. Grace, and their lives were in her hands. See, they got bandages on. She's taking care of them. See? One day, Grace's teacher said they would do a play, Peter Pan. Grace knew who she wanted to be. When she raised her hand, Raj said, "You can't be Peter. That's a boy's name." But Grace kept her hand up. "You can't be Peter Pan," whispered Natalie. "He isn't black." But Grace kept her hand up. "All right," said the teacher. "Lots of you want to be Peter Pan. So we'll have auditions next week to choose parts." She gave them words to learn. See? You see Grace right there? She's holding her hand up. It doesn't matter. When Grace got home, she seemed sad. "What's the matter?" asked Ma. Raj said, "I can't be Peter Pan because I'm a girl." "That just shows what Raj knows," says Ma. "A girl can be Peter Pan if she wants to." Grace cheered up. Then later she remembered something else. Natalie says, "I can't be Peter Pan because I'm black," she said. Ma looked angry, but before she could speak, Nana said, "It seems that Natalie is another one who doesn't know nothing. You can be anything you want, Grace, if you put your mind to it." See, there she is right there. One Saturday, Nana told Grace they were going out. In the afternoon, they caught a bus and train into town. Nana took Grace to a grand theater. The sign outside read, Rosalie Wilkins in Romeo and Juliet in sparkling lights. "Are we going to the ballet, Nana?" asked Grace. "We are, honey, but first, I want you to look at this picture." Grace looked up and saw a beautiful young ballerina in a tutu. Above the dancer it said, "Stunning New Juliet." See? There's the beautiful dancer right there. "That one is little Rosalie from back home in Trinidad," said Nana. "Her granny and me, we grew up together on the island. She's always asking me, do I want tickets to see her Rosalie dance? So this time, I said yes." After the ballet, Grace played the part of Juliet, dancing around her room in her imaginary tutu. "I can be anything I want," she thought. You see her dancing? On Monday, the class met for auditions to choose who was the best for each part. When it was Grace's turn to be Peter Pan, she knew exactly what to do and all the words to say. She had been Peter Pan all weekend. She took a deep breath and imagined herself flying. When it was time to vote, the class chose Raj to be Captain Hook, Natalie to be Wendy. There was no doubt who would be Peter Pan. Everyone voted for Grace. "You were fantastic," whispered Natalie. See, she's performing. She's doing such a great job. The play was a big success, and Grace was an amazing Peter Pan. After it was all over, she said, "I feel as if I could fly all the way home." "You probably could," said Ma. "Yes," said Nana. "If Grace puts her mind to it, she can do anything she wants." See, she's dancing. The end. So that was one of my favorite stories because Grace's story is so exciting. I'm going to read one of my other favorite stories just so we can take a look at another story. I hope you like that first one. I'm going to read a classic one. A lot of people know this story. It's called Where the Wild Things Are. Story and pictures by Maurice Sendak. So you can see this is a very loved book. The night Max wore his wolf suit and made mischief of one kind. So he's in his wolf suit. And another. So he's jumping down the stairs chasing the dog. His mother called him "Wild Thing," and Max said, "I'll eat you up." So he was sent to bed without eating anything. Guess he's not that hungry, huh? That very night in Max's room, a forest grew. See it? That forest growing? See it? And grew until his ceilings hung with vines and the walls became the world all around. See? It's a complete forest. That's crazy. I wish my bedroom would do that at night. And an ocean tumbled with a private boat for Max, and he sailed off through night and day. See, he's on his boat. And in and out of weeks, and almost over a year, to where the wild things are. See, he's been sailing for a long time. And when he came to the place where the wild things are, they roared their terrible roars and gnashed their terrible teeth and rolled their terrible eyes and showed their terrible claws. See, look at how scary they are. Till Max said, "Be still," and tamed them with the magic trick. And staring all their yellow eyes without blinking once, they were frightened and asked him the most wild thing of all. See how scared they are? Can you imagine scaring those big monsters? And made him king of all the wild things. "And now," cried Max, "let the wild rumpus start. See? They get ready to get down, huh? See, they partied. They partied hard all night. They're still partying. You guys play like that? That's some rough playtime. And they're still at it. Oh my goodness, they are just making all the noises. Now stop, Max said, and sent the wild things off to bed without their supper. Sound familiar? And Max, the king of all wild things, was lonely and wanted to be where someone loved him best of all. Then, all around, from far away across the world, he smelled something good to eat. So, he gave up being king of where the wild things are. See, we put all of them to sleep. But he's not very happy. But the wild things cried, "Oh, please don't go. We'll eat you up. We love you so." And Max said, "No." The wild things roared their terrible roars and gnashed their terrible teeth and rolled their terrible eyes and showed their terrible claws. But Max stepped into his private boat and waved goodbye. See, they don't want him to go. They have so much fun. And sailed back over a year and in and out of weeks and through a day. See, he's sailing again. And into the night and of his very own room where he found his supper waiting for him. The end. Well, thank you, friends, for joining me for this very special story time. I'm glad that you enjoyed these wonderful stories. Make sure that you keep watching the Zulibee Facebook page for all these future activities and that you're enjoying your summer reading program.